Welcome to the 5G Podcast.
We're glad you're here.
We hope you enjoy our conversations about God, guns, games, goals, and gastronomy.
Now sit back, relax, and enjoy this week's episode.
And I think we are away to the races.
Cool.
Dun, 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 dun.
Excelente.
Mucho gusto, señor. ¿Cómo estás?
On this beautiful Tuesday evening.
Yes. 4 days past when we normally do it because Stephen was ranching.
He was ranching cattle.
No cattle.
No, not that kind of ranch.
No, it's a horse ranch.
Yeah, horse boy. See, cowboy sounds fine when you say it, but then like anything else, you're like, ah, yes.
He's a chicken herder.
This is a goat man.
Goat man?
Yeah, people have goat
I think that's
farm.
called a shepherd.
Oh, that's fair.
Although shepherd is for sheep.
Is sheep, right?
A goat herd.
Yes, there you go, a goat herder.
Yeah.
Goat herd.
Yeah, I was out at my family's ranch doing
Manual labor.
effectively I drove a bulldozer all day is what I did.
It's not bad.
Yeah, so it was quite fun, but let me tell you, driving a bulldozer for how long was it?
Hours. At
Yeah,
least.
multiple, like 6.
A shift.
It was literally a shift. Yeah, driving a bulldozer for, half a day, 6 hours, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Doesn't, like, there's no suspension in those things.
No, yeah, that can't be comfortable. Plus all the
No.
vibrations. Like
Yeah.
similar, since horses were relevant, like riding a horse all day also doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
You get the saddle sore,
Uh-huh.
as they call it.
No, and I also was adventurous on this bulldozer, and so I was going up this hill, and I was coming down the hill, and down the hill was a little bit faster than it should have been, and the blade dug in, and I launched myself into the front of the dozer. Yeah, banging myself up pretty bad on the crossbar that they have there.
Dude.
I almost fell out, and I was like, well, that would have been unfortunate.
Oh, okay. I got
So
this is the end. Did it stop, or do you rolled out of the way, or how did it?
No, it had dug itself in, so it was
okay.
stopped. It stopped abruptly, and that's what caused me to...
Okay, it didn't keep going.
No.
Or anything.
No.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Glad you're here recording our podcast episode now.
Well, I was a lot safer this time than the previous time I went up to the ranch.
I don't know.
It was a little while ago, but my dad almost tried, or he almost killed me with a tree.
Oh,
We were felling some trees, and
got to yell timber.
well, no, like it was this one tree that was dead,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know, this is not anything related to the 5Gs, but anyway,
It's outdoorsmanly.
yeah. But we were felling this tree, and it went, and on the way down, it hit another tree. And these are eucalyptus trees. And eucalyptus trees are extremely brittle. And so when one of them gets hit, it's just dominoes.
Yeah.
And this tree fell away from me, but the other trees that it hit were falling towards me. And I was probably a good, 50 yards away. So like 150 feet away. And I actually have a video that I can show you afterwards of this branch about this thick around hit my shoulder and impaled itself a foot into the dirt right next to me. And it glanced off of my shoulder.
Yeah.
And I would have
close.
Well, and I was running away too because
Obviously.
all of the earth was falling towards me. It was very scary.
Man.
I had a lot of adrenaline running through me after that. I was vibrating. But,
Jeez.
so yeah, I was a lot safer than that time. This time,
Relatively, yeah. That's
yeah. We only had to cut up one tree with chainsaws. So.
Oh, good.
It was already down, so it was
A lot
just in the way of a horse trail.
Nice.
Anyway,
I've got a funny good question for the week. Our magic spot of news. This guy's a little distracting, isn't he?
He is a little bit.
He will not settle down today. Anyway, related to magic, right? We talk about magic often. Stephen, can you tell me the name of the last magic release? What was the last magic product that came out?
The product was the release was Ixalan, right? And that was
right. It was like what, 2 weeks ago we were talking about that?
2 or 3, yeah.
Yeah, great. That's I'm laughing because it was a trick question.
Oh,
There was a release today, Steven.
of what? A new set?
Yeah.
Wait, what? Did they
Uh-huh.
just like secret drop it?
It's a remastered set, so there were no new cards, so they just like spoiled the whole set in like a week and then released it today on a Tuesday. It's a Ravnica remastered. Should be a big release, a big set, because Ravnica, for folks who don't know, is like one of the biggest. It's a plane from Magic the Gathering that we've been back to several times. It's a beloved fan favorite. People really like the environment and the whole world that they crafted on Ravnica, and so they curated a whole set of like the best hits from all the times we've been to Ravnica and sold it as one complete package. Ravnica remastered.
Like with all the best arts and stuff like that?
Yeah, and even some new arts, obviously. They got to sell new arts. And some old cards in the retro border. So the old school, like kind of brown borders. Some decent reprints. Yes and no. Some of them were upshifted to Mythic. So it doesn't really help reprint value, but it is what it is. But yeah, they spoiled the whole set and released it today.
Huh.
Ravnica, yeah. Ooh.
What was there just like normally there's like I at least see like some articles about it, but like every article that I've been reading still is about Ixalan.
It's still Ixalan, yeah.
Like did they just like forget to like announce it?
I think I only heard about it today as well. They just didn't have any promotional campaign. Maybe Monday. Maybe I heard about it Monday.
So, 1 day in advance?
1 day in advance before it released. Yep.
What is the reasoning behind that? Was it just like
no idea? They've done this for the past, I think, 2 years where they have a remastered set once a year is like their quota or something. I don't know. And it seems cool, but again, it was so rushed out that I'm sure it's not marketed well at all. And then it's a premium set, so it's designed to be drafted, but it's like $8 a booster. Like it's expensive. It's the premium boosters, not the cheap standard boosters like Ixalan. So
which are like $5 a pop?
Yeah, they're supposed to be 4 to 5.
Yeah.
Cut that out. Bump the camera.
He did, I saw that.
We don't have an editor.
Go.
Go away.
Dogs, man.
Dogs.
Love them, but hate them at the same time.
Yeah.
But so what? That's so weird to me.
They had a secret release.
I was reading. This is a tie into that, kind of. Hasbro, who's the parent company of Wizards of the Coast, who's the parent company of Magic the Gathering,
yep,
as well as D&D, right? Hasbro is firing like 1,700 employees or something like that.
Significant amount.
I think it's like 5 or 10% of their workforce or something like that. Yeah, like a significant portion.
Just in time for Christmas, guys.
The article I read was like, 2 weweeks before Christmas. It's like, sheesh.
Your last day is December 22nd. Get out of here. Merry Christmas.
But like, we've talked about this before, how most of the time with these Magic sets, we feel like they're just churning them out much too quickly, not putting enough thought into them, causing too much price increases for these pieces of paper. It's causing, and we perceive it causing burnout in the
player base, the fans.
I think this article, it wasn't specifically talking about. It was saying that the CEO of Hasbro was saying that Wizards of the Coast they didn't fire any Wizards of the Coast employees.
Okay.
Because Wizards of the Coast is still making them money.
Still their cash cow.
It is.
Their other subsidiaries.
Yep, were the ones that were failing them.
Okay, yeah, the My Little Ponies and the whatever.
Play-Doh, apparently.
Play-Doh, okay, yeah.
There was another one that they mentioned. Oh, Monopoly is Hasbro as well.
That's right.
But my thought was like, I wonder if this is I don't know what the right word is, but like a symbol or a lead up to or a precursor,
a harbinger
of worse things to come for Wizards of the Coast itself inside of Hasbro. Right?
Surely, I mean, in any company, you can see the signs. You're like, okay, they're firing people over there. Like if it's at your own job, you're like, yeah, they just totally cleaned out the finance department. You're like, okay,
Yeah,
they're
for
totally
sure.
not coming for us next, right?
For sure. So it kind of ties in. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I don't wish anyone to get fired.
No,
but,
of course not.
maybe some more tactical decisions need to be made by people, but we don't run them. So who knows? Maybe we're wrong.
Maybe this is a turning point. Maybe Hasbro's just gonna make a lot of money now, or I don't know. They'll do so much better.
I mean, you figure like 1,700 people, each making what? Let's say average 80K.
80K, yeah.
That's that's a chunk of change,
absolutely.
So anyway, we'll have to see where that goes.
Yeah.
We'll have to see where that goes. You had, did you want to talk about your, what do you go? What do you?
Yeah.
This is pretty much a you show today. You're the one who came up with all of these topics effectively.
We'll talk about more video games, and we'll bounce off of that. I don't know if you heard about the Game Awards last week.
We talked about the nominations in a previous episode and kind of my reaction to some of those, and I think I saw an article about what game won Game of the Year, but I didn't read anything else.
Gotcha. Yeah, I guess as a precursor, word of the day, the Game Awards is more or less kind of just like an advertising opportunity anyway. It is just a company who decided to host the Game Awards, so they decide who wins.
But all of the game producers have kind of bought into it at this point, right?
Yeah, it does at least mean something. I think I've mentioned previously. It looks nice. You get all the awards, the plaques, or whatever. You can resell your game and be like, "Oh, this is the Game of the Year edition.
Sure,
you won this year." So like, it is worth something. Certainly, it's good. It's good marketing. It's good advertising. All the Game Awards were last Thursday or something. I've seen tons of news articles about that and those who won and didn't win in different categories and stuff like that. So, it is worth something, but maybe it's not like, oh, the end all be all authority. A lot of people were complaining. But my game is the best game. How come it didn't win Game of the Year? That's just, get over yourself. It doesn't matter.
You mean CS2 isn't the best game of the year with all of its bugs?
I'm sorry, Steven.
Oh, that's a new thing that we need to add to the list.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. Remember that for later. You give me another note to remember for later, so.
Yeah.
But anyway, the Game Awards, Game of the Year. Do you remember from your articles? I know I quizzed you on the nominations last time.
Yeah, I think I remember it was the one that I knew.
They were all sequels. It was
oh yeah, it's your game. It's Baldur's Gate 3.
Good old Baldur's Gate 3 won Game of the Year.
Yeah.
And as I was watching them, Game of the Year was obviously the last one of the night they announced. They earlier in the night, Baldur's Gate 3 scooped up a couple of the other awards.
Really?
And I was like, oh, that's good enough. Like I'm impressed. They won Best RPG. I was like,
fair enough.
This year, yeah, it was pretty good. Best multiplayer game. I personally think so. It was pretty good. And then the one that arguably is more important, player's voice, is really like the popularity contest game of the year. Is the most fans voted for Baldur's Gate to win.
Interesting.
But then they actually won the official Game of the Year. So it's what the
it's like a really like legit Game of the Year. It wasn't like some Tweedledink Starlight Valley 14 or whatever.
Yeah, that like mysteriously won one award but nothing else.
Yeah.
Like no, it all came together. They the two other awards, they won Best Community Support, and that's still ongoing. Like they're still releasing huge content updates. Pretty amazing. And then one of their voice actors won Best Performance.
Really?
By voice actor, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So all in all, the game got 6 awards.
Very cool.
It's kind of a sweep.
Did you watch the awards or anything?
I had it streaming on one screen and I kind of skipped around and I saw some live, and then the day after I saw some highlights.
Do they give like the voice actor his own award for like? Okay, cool.
Yeah, he got his own award. He got to go up on stage and give a speech or whatever. And then I saw the big highlight was when they won Game of the Year. The lead guy of the company, I forget his name. He's got a funny. Not to make fun of him, but he has a very interesting kind of Eastern European name. Slavov or something.
Slava the Slobnobler.
But so he walks up on stage in like a breastplate of armor on.
Oh, that's sick.
It was really cool. Like he probably would have had a sword if they would have allowed him to, but he just he walks up to accept the award, and he was like, "Wow, I wasn't expecting this." Like you could tell he was pretty like a little starstruck.
Yeah, emotional maybe.
Yeah, and then the big meme afterwards was that he gave a pretty short speech and then sat down. It was maybe 30 seconds. It came out on the internet the day after. Somebody had taken a picture on their phone from the opposite screen facing the stage, and it said like, "Hurry it up, please," or something like, "Hey, get off the stage." It's like,
really?
Yeah.
For Game of the Year?
Game of the Year, they gave him 30 seconds and they put up a big message like, "Hey, you're done." Yeah, so...
What the heck?
Uh-huh. And it was like really poor PR, because it was even like right 30 seconds into his speech was even right when he was saying like, "And we just want to remember all of our loved ones who like died while we were making this game," and then it's like, "Get off the stage." You're like, that's a little insensitive.
Yikes. Well, I mean,
again, the Game Awards is a big commercial. They like spend way more time on like announcing new games and advertisements for Call of Duties or whatever, like, because they get paid by all their funders. And so Game of the Year, you get 30 seconds for a speech. Go sit down.
That's crazy. They should have played like a highlight reel of like gameplay and stuff like that.
Yeah, give him a little bit longer for a
like
speech.
5 minutes. Come on.
And then even more, I found out he was going to announce that the Xbox release was happening this past weekend, and he didn't even get a chance to announce that in his speech.
Really?
Yeah. So like Xbox, Baldur's Gate 3 released on Xbox, and I think Game Pass just like over the weekend. It just snuck in under the radar because like it wasn't announced anywhere.
Yeah. I'll have to tell Ryan that so she can hop on and play it for $1 or
Pretty
whatever.
sure it's on Game Pass, but don't quote me on that one.
Very cool.
Yeah, that was my Game Awards recap. I thought it'd be interesting.
Very cool. What Oh, okay. My CS2 thing.
Oh yes, give it to me.
Apparently, this is insane. This game was not ready for release.
Oh jeez.
It should have been out a year from now.
Oh no.
They should have just hyped it up another year and just like...
Yeah.
Apparently, there is a way for people to literally hack your computer through the game and like get all of your stuff.
Don't they have like big tournaments coming up? They can't be having crap like this going on.
And apparently it's like one of the easiest, like most like normal way, like simplest ways. Like you can literally Google how to do it, and someone like me, whereas you literally just run a script in the code box.
It's not even complicated.
No, it's not. It's not like someone's like.
Okay, first you got to get a Raspberry Pi.
Exactly. It's not like, it's literally just like you copy a script and paste a script, and then it gives you every player in the lobby's IP address and like information, and you can download things onto their computers.
Yikes!
So malware or whatever you want, and then from then you're golden, whatever you want to get.
You're in.
Yeah.
Okay, not that we're advocating for that, but geez,
all of the biggest CS content creators like made like short videos yesterday and Sunday and saying like, don't play the game.
So just stop.
Just stop playing the game right now.
Because it's only while you're in a lobby with someone.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So it's like, okay, you don't need to go uninstall.
No.
Yeah.
If you're in a game with anyone that is doing this, they will get your information
everything
and be able to download malware onto your computer.
Jeez. I mean, the government is one thing, but like just random people, no way.
To be fair.
All right. The Patriot Act.
No, yeah.
That's
it's insane. It's insane. So I was like, I got home from the ranch on Sunday, and I was like, I'm just gonna have dinner and relax. And I sat down on my computer and I watched some. I was gonna play some Counter-Strike. I wasn't even gonna play a normal match. I was gonna play deathmatch, where you just run around with a shotgun.
Casual.
Just super casual. More casual than casuals. And I watched a couple videos while I was eating dinner at my desk, and I was like, well, I guess I'm not playing any games tonight.
Yeah.
So,
well, good. I'm glad we're doing our due diligence, passing on the word.
Everyone who watches this will now know.
Do not play Counter-Strike 2.
Until next week when they fix it, hopefully. There was a patch that came out yesterday.
It seems like they just don't even have that many developers.
It seems like there's like a guy with a potato for a computer designing this game.
Just like in his mother's garage.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, just sometimes it's like, what are we doing here? Like, you're a multi-billion gazillion dollar company,
Yeah.
like one of the wealthiest gaming companies ever.
Haven't looked at the stats recently, but yeah, I'd have to say so. Yeah.
Like, definitely top 5.
Oh yeah.
They might be number 1
Yeah.
because CS2 is, or Counter-Strike, CS:GO was the most popular game in the world.
Yep. I was about to say, like, Microsoft is maybe climbing up there, but through different methods.
Yeah,
Valve straight up, like,
owns game. Yeah.
they make games, they make Steam.
Although Blizzard is probably up there.
That's what I'm saying. If they're not currently, if they were at some point, I wouldn't be surprised.
Probably Blizzard, Valve, and I don't know.
Activision.
Yeah, well, Activision and Blizzard are the same.
Now they are. That's true.
So, Activision and Blizzard is definitely number 1.
Yeah.
And they're all Microsoft now as well.
And they're all Microsoft, yeah, so.
Oh, what a mess. Anyway, it was interesting. So
that is. Speaking of other big gaming blunders.
Oh, blunders.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Counter-Strike 2 is not the worst game ever made, because that, I think, is a special award given to this game that I hadn't heard of until yesterday. Again, I guess I got all my news yesterday of things that happened today. The day before earns that special award.
I've heard of the game.
Uh-huh.
Well, I don't remember.
That's the interesting thing. A lot of people have heard of the game.
I have no idea what it is, but I know I've heard the name.
Yeah. The day before, there's probably YouTubers who've done this better than me, or who have done this better than I could. But long story short, the day before, it's from a small kind of indie developer, and they released a trailer like 3 years ago or whatever, advertising it was going to be a Morpega, an MMORPG. So it's a big, massively multiplayer online survival zombie horror game. So
interesting.
If you've seen like The Division is kind of like a post-apocalyptic like New York.
Yeah.
It'd be like that, but multiplayer. Well, Division is multiplayer, but an open world multiplayer.
Sure. Similar to freaking a New World.
Yeah, similar to New World with some more survival elements.
Sure.
You got to scavenge and craft and all that stuff. So and a lot of people got really excited about that 3 years ago. It's like, oh, this seems like a fresh idea from an indie developer. We want to support them. That's cool. I think they'd only released one other game at that point. I'll give you the climax of what's happened now. It's turned out to be probably the biggest scam in gaming ever.
Really?
Yeah.
Did they just not produce a game?
This was the most wish-listed game on Steam ever, which is pretty high accolade.
Sure.
Because they had this trailer and a lot of people were hyped. They're like, it seems like a cool game. Most wish-listed. I want to know when the game releases. I want to buy it. Now, they didn't do pre-orders, which is important to a later part in the story. But they released the game on last Friday, I think.
Okay.
Come Monday, yesterday, the company announced we're shutting down. The game, here's what they claim. Part truth and part what they claim. Truth is that the game was so bad. The game was terrible. It was borderline unplayable. All of their video game assets looked, and a lot of people kind of confirm this, looked like they came straight out of the just like the base assets for the Unreal Engine 5. It's like anybody could just plop a city down and
sure.
these guns down.
Sure.
It was just an unfinished, unplayable game. It was buggy as hell. The multiplayer was terrible. There were connection issues. It was bad. It was not even a game. There were no pre-orders, but they charged $40.
Jeez.
And claimed it was still in early access, as most people do.
Yeah.
And then
go right down.
Content creators and everyone got their hands on it this weekend. They were like, this game sucks. It's the worst game I've ever played. It fell from most wish-listed game on Steam to the bottom 5 of most negative reviews on Steam.
Total reviews or proportional reviews?
Total, I believe.
Wow.
Or proportion. I'll have to double check on that one. It was at least like 20,000 something negative reviews was the number I saw.
Wow.
Which was, again, in the bottom 5 or top 5. Next to Overwatch 2.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah. And so Monday, the company announces we're done. We're not going to continue. We give up. We scrap it. The company disappeared like overnight. Hey, cut that out. Go. All of their social media, Steven, gone. Every existence, they disappeared. Steam started refunding some people who asked for it. You can no longer buy the game on Steam. They got rid of the button. I don't think all refunds have been issued though. It's rumored that they sold 1 million copies
at $40 a pop.
$40 a pop. 40 million. Supposedly it's an indie game developer. Supposedly it's just like 5 guys.
So they each made off with $8 million
and disappeared. And
whoa!
And that's basically where the story's at right now. Live time.
What do you? Oh, wow!
Even if Steam refunds some of it,
they're not going to refund $40 million.
I don't think they can. And there's also rumors that they're like, oh, they might not have those funds yet from Steam.
Yeah, but, that would make sense.
Mm-hmm, like it takes some time for it to get through Steam to the developer. But yeah, no word from them. They totally disappeared after posting the statement on Monday that like they were shutting down. And it was all like honest, like, yeah, I just, we tried to release a great game and we thank you for being with us, but we can't continue. We don't have the funding or whatever.
You just made $40 million. What are you talking about? You don't have the funding.
Yeah.
Well, Steam takes a cut of it, obviously.
Steam takes a cut. Their publisher took a cut. No word from their publisher either, which I think is a little weird.
Who's their publisher?
Some other relatively small guy. I didn't recognize the name. So
interesting.
They just took 8 million each and bounced. Nice little vacation.
Yeah, go to the Bahamas.
Go to the Bahamas, anywhere you want.
Live there for the rest of your life, I suppose.
Yeah.
Wow, that's insane.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
here's my offer, Steven. We'll turn off the camera real quick. What do you think?
Click, pause.
Seems like a good idea, right?
Yeah, we just need to make like a super hype trailer for a really cool idea.
Yeah.
And you know what? Plagiarize all the assets.
Develop the game for 3 years.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And then people just like, we'll put out 2 more like hype videos,
You can maybe get some social media going.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And then we'll sell it for, you know what? We'll even sell it for $20 a pop.
$20.
And then
sell it for 3 days.
Yeah.
And you say, no, we're done.
And we'll even open up pre-orders for like a week in advance.
Yeah. See, that's the thing that we're like, oh, maybe it wasn't a scam, because I think they sit on their letter. They're like, oh, we didn't accept any pre-orders. I don't know.
I mean, maybe they should have accepted pre-orders and made a good game.
That's the whole point of pre-orders and microtransactions during a game, is so that you can get your money spread out for a game company. Instead of every 2 to 3 years, you get a big bulk of money.
Yeah, pay less taxes on that too, so you can have that cash reserved.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we'll uncheck the
camera. Yeah. We're recording again now. Yeah. So that's a horrible thing.
Can't believe
anyone would ever do.
What a scam! You'd have to be dumb to pull off something like that.
Yeah. In other news, coming near you, the first 5G
gaming studios.
That's a.
I blew my mind reading about that these past couple days. I really wanted to share that with you.
Yeah.
The day before is the game.
The day before, the greatest scam in history.
It seems like they should have. I don't know. There's been all sorts of dumb jokes, and I was trying to come up with a good one, but
yeah,
they should have quit the day before they started selling the game. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I wonder if that could have been fixed with pre-orders. I mean, maybe not. Maybe this was their plan, and
maybe it was the plan. Obviously, benefit of the doubt. I want to believe that they wanted to make a good game, but just couldn't.
Yeah. Does your dog need to go to the bathroom?
You might.
Should we pause real quick?
Yeah, sure.
So day before debacle, that's crazy.
Day before.
I can't. I mean, I'd be interested to see what the result of that is.
Mm-hmm.
But you have been in other video game news.
Yeah.
News? I don't know.
Oh.
WoW.
Relevance.
World of Warcraft. The nerd of the nerd games.
That's right. That's right.
Released again.
Hits me right.
Again. It released for the third time.
Uh-huh. Hits you right in the nostalgia, Steven. Well, me, but
I've never played the game.
yeah, and that's the point. At this point, they're only selling to nostalgia. World of Warcraft Classic plus a little bit extra this time because we already had World of Warcraft Classic, and so it sounds dumb, but yeah, I'm the target audience for that, and it worked. They got me back in just when I thought I was out of the game for good. Because I played Classic for a few years, and I was like, yeah, you know what? I think I'm done. I'm good. Because now they have like 3 separate timelines. It's really weird. They have the actual World of Warcraft, which nobody plays anymore except for like
weebs,
teenagers. I guess I don't know. I don't know who plays that one. They announced the next expansion for that one, new story, whatever. Story on that one has been lame for a while. Then there was World of Warcraft Classic as they were going through the old expansions. And they just announced they're getting to the next expansion that really was not Classic anymore. It wasn't a true like retro video game experience. The next expansion after that fundamentally changed the world and so many things about that game where a lot of people argue like, nah, that's kind of the end of Classic, original World of Warcraft. So instead, they gave a third option for people like me, a third timeline now, World of Warcraft Classic Plus. So we're going back to the beginning again with just extra changes. And maybe it sounds kind of dumb to somebody who doesn't know, but I'll try to summarize. World of Warcraft is like you level from 1 to 60. You have this giant, fantastic world to visit. And you pick different classes, and those classes do different things, specific things. And it's the idea of like what's the word? Like your class fantasy is pretty integral. Like you are a warrior. You do things a warrior can do, and you can't do things that a paladin can do. Those are 2 very different things. Whereas modern World of Warcraft, over in this timeline, there's a lot of it's all been homogenized where like everybody can do everything.
Sure.
Basically. And so, Classic gives you that feel of like, yeah, you're unique, like you're needed. You got to bring everybody to the group in order to beat the boss. You got to have every piece. And so that's actually kind of one of the things they changed / modified in this new experience. Is first off, is we're not starting with the level cap at 60. We're starting at 25. So level 1 to 25 is this first little segment. And they're splitting it up into kind of different phases, which I like for the casual gamer. You're not rushing all the way to 60, which takes a while. You're just getting to 25. You're just chilling. So there's a little bit less stress for the dad gamer, as they say.
Yeah.
Not a dad, but I share the sentiment of like,
you got a full-time job and other crap to do.
Things to do. I got a wife. I got a house. Like there's chores that need done.
Yeah.
I can't play all day every day.
You got to have some time to play Magic and stuff like that as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Film hobby podcasts.
Naturally. So it's cool. That's like they're splitting it into phases. So like the next phase is just 25 to 40. I only have to do 15 levels. I don't have to do all 60 levels all at once, and I'm not rushed. So that's kind of cool. The next big change, as I mentioned, changing some of that class fantasy. They've like updated some of the classes and some of the roles. For instance, in original World of Warcraft, warriors were like the best tank. That was the only class that could do that role well. Technically, paladins could tank and druids could tank, but they were bad. They were terrible. Warriors tanked. That's what they did best. So in this Classic Plus, Season of Discovery is the official name, but that's dumb. I'm not going to call it that. They updated druid tanking to make that better. They updated paladin tanking to make that better, kind of on par with the warrior. And then they went wild. They added shamans can now tank, kind of cool, and rogues can now tank. Why not? And then here's the wild one: warlocks can now tank too. Sure, let everybody tank.
I'm gonna have to. All right. So you were explaining before we were rudely interrupted by my father.
Right. Nah. He might be watching.
He's not.
No.
Especially not this far into it.
Sorry to hit mute, even if he is watching by now.
Yeah.
Um,
His eyes glazed over once we started talking about video games. Or Magic the Gathering.
Which was probably the first 4 minutes. So yeah.
The first 4 seconds. I think we started this by saying, so what's new in Magic?
So anyway, World of Warcraft, they added all the new tank classes. And so the weird ones are rogue, shaman, warlock.
So rogue, is it just like you can aggro them and then just dodge constantly?
They're a dodge tank, yep. When I haven't seen much of them yet, because they're at like level 25 is when you unlock it. A lot of the Season of Discovery, the cheesy name, is you have to discover these new abilities that let you do that.
Interesting.
And so you have to just like go explore the world to find them, or you wait for somebody else to find them and you Google it online. But the first couple days were pretty magical of finding things and discovering it for yourself in this fantasy world that for me, I grew up knowing.
Yeah. Is
the nostalgia. To the point where like I was playing with my brothers and my buddies on the first couple of days. We're just walking around, just killing, whatever. And we're at this one oasis, this one pond, and we're like, those are like dinosaur eggs by the side of the pond. Those aren't supposed to be there. Just one random thing in some tiny insignificant part of this huge game. Like that's not quite right.
Interesting.
Or to like later you'd see just like a little obelisk coming up out of the ground. You're like, that's kind of weird.
Wait a second.
You try to go click on it and it's just like nothing happens. You're like, oh, that's not for me. It's for somebody else to discover.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it's been cool. The seeing the experience and kind of reliving it has been neat. It's been a good hit of nostalgia, as well as kind of fun to see new things in an old game.
Yeah.
It's not a very common thing to experience. So
no. Yeah, I feel like more games could do that and be successful.
Make money off the nostalgia. We've talked about that before. Everybody loves a little bit of nostalgia.
Although you can't just like jerk someone off with nostalgia.
No, yeah, it's like
there has to be some. This is, I think, WoW is doing it well, and this is my hot take, right?
Sure.
Where it's the same game,
yeah,
so it's nostalgic, but there's an additional something there where you're like, this is. I'm getting that nostalgic stuff.
Yeah.
But there's new content behind it that's kind of like you're discovering new things. It has that new game feel and the nostalgia all worked into one. Is that an accurate description?
Yeah. And it's a pretty good feeling as someone experienced.
There's no mechanic learning curve.
No.
And so like if you're one of these retro players who have been playing for a decade, you know how to play the game.
It's pretty simple.
And so level 1 to level 25 is not like this grind of how to try to like, oh, I need to figure out exactly how to play the game. Like, oh, what do I class in? Blah, 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 blah. Like,
I think on day 2, I mean, I wasn't because I don't care for this, but my buddy Ian, he was like fishing. He was just doing the fishing profession in game. Like, what? You're not rushing to max level? He's like, no, it's level 25. Like, I could get there today if I cared, but no, I'm just fishing.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it was very funny.
But I think other games could try something similar to this and be successful.
Certainly.
But it has to be a specific type of game, and you can't just do the nostalgia factor.
Yes.
And you can't just try to smush the two together. You do have to do it right, or else it looks like a really crappy game.
Yeah. I watched a YouTube video today that unrelated topic I didn't want to get into, thus I didn't put it on our agenda list, but I can tell you after. But he kind of delineated between fan service as a positive term, not a negative, but just like, yeah, giving the fans what they want.
Sure.
Fan service, and then just pure nostalgia bait, as you mentioned, like just nostalgia for nostalgia's sake. You're like, well, okay, hold on, like, but the fans want nostalgia, sure, but like a little bit of fan service is listen to them find out what.
But also,
what
you
your
need to
customers want.
you need to integrate it into something new.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. I think
Right?
it's very
Like,
effective.
give the fans what they want, and they'll remain fans. But you also have to give them something that they don't know that they wanted.
Yes. Yeah, that's a good point.
Right? My go-to example of a crappy version of this is Spider-Man 3 or whatever,
Yeah,
No Way Home. And it was literally just the producers of that movie jerking off their fan base
That was
with nostalgia,
A pure nostalgia bait.
with zero story behind it, other than Peter Parker is a tard.
Yeah. Hey, look, here's more Spider-Man. Oh, here's another Spider-Man.
And the entire time was them just nostalgia fapping over these three Spider-Man characters, or these two Spider-Man characters.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, the 5 minutes where each of them showed up was great.
Sure.
But then the rest of the movie had zero substance.
Yeah.
It was probably, in my opinion, the worst movie I've almost ever seen. And I've seen some pretty crappy movies.
Yeah. I was about to say this.
I did watch the first Captain Marvel.
Oh, yeah, that was...
Didn't watch the new one.
I don't blame you. We joked about that.
No one blames me.
We're not giving you a movie review on this channel.
No. Unfortunately not.
Couldn't pay me to do that.
I had zero desire to see that movie. I saw
sure.
like most of the time when I see like a Marvel movie trailer, I'm like, okay. Like that looks at least like I'm willing to go see it or like watch it. Like
even if, on the back end it ends up being that wasn't worth it.
Like
but...
Ant-Man and Quantum Mania or whatever.
Oh yeah.
On the front end I was like, that looks okay.
That seems fine.
Yeah, seems like an alright like sequel.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the back end you're like,
yeah. I waited for it to come out on Disney Plus and didn't finish it, but
not really worth finishing.
I saw like an hour.
But then this Captain Marvel or the Marvels or whatever, like I saw the trailer and I was like, this looks really corny and really bad.
And that's what everyone said. Yeah,
and the box office reflects that. So, in any case,
but World of Warcraft bringing an interesting topic.
Doing it well, doing nostalgia well.
Nostalgia plus a little extra,
and you're discovering it.
And mini discoveries.
Yes, very good, very good.
That was the jokes, like all on day. Somebody just like, because they have the big world chat, you can just type to anybody. How do I find this thing? You're like, I don't know. Why don't you go discover it? All the replies. It never got old.
That's very funny.
And now it's all out on the internet anyway, so nobody's asking anymore in the chat. But it was a magical couple days.
That's very funny. I saw a funny clip of Asmongold.
Oh yeah,
and he has his clan.
And I'm on his server.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, but I'm Horde. He's on Alliance.
Oh, gotcha.
I think he's got two now. Actually, 2 guilds.
Yeah. And apparently, you can like pay 5 gold to like. He's just
advance.
It's just an MLM. Yeah, it's just an MLM. Which is
because if they recruit other people to the guild, then they become officers, and then
it's just an MLM, and it's hilarious. And he's just getting stupid rich off of it, running this guild.
In game money. It's all legal.
Yes,
but it's so funny. He's just he's got the fanboys.
He is actually quite the entertaining person to watch. I'll watch clips every once in a while.
Personality, yeah, he's kind of funny,
and he's got some good takes. Mm-hmm. Like his opinion is like pretty okay.
There was a big one just like the past couple of days where like Twitch was just like letting basically pornography on Twitch, and he was just like, "This is not okay." Like
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and so he was kind of like getting the word out. He's like, "They need to fix this." Like
I know that
13-year-olds on this platform. Like
I know that there's like those hot tub streaming girls or whatever.
Yeah.
Which like they get away with because it's like variety streaming or whatever, and they're not technically naked. Yeah. And like
no, the new one was just like streaming topless. Like it was bad. It was just like how is this allowed? So I think just later today, I heard that like that was getting resolved. Twitch was actually responding.
I wonder how like that even came about. Like that obviously was. Like, they didn't change anything probably to, like...
No.
Because I know you can play, like, rated M games on Twitch.
Yeah.
Like
and I think you just have to, like, sign in or click, like, I'm over 17 plus or whatever, but really, I mean, we all got into Club Penguin when we weren't allowed, so...
Yeah.
It's pretty easy to get around age gates.
Yeah, you click yes.
Yes, I am 17.
There's a website I visit regularly that is a gun part website.
Oh yeah.
And it's not Pornhub. I know that's what everyone was thinking. No, it's Palmetto State Armory.
Okay.
And a couple of the other ones do it as well. Then whenever you go on their homepage, the screen turns grayscale or whatever, and they have a pop up that says, according to this law, blah 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 blah, you must be 18 years or older to enter this site. Do you affirm that you are 18 years or older? And you just have to click yes. It's like,
is that easy?
Isn't that stopping any 15-year-old?
No, from anything. Yeah,
that's just and it's not even that annoying. Like, it's just a button that you have to click, but it's like, this is like what is this doing?
I have to wonder on the platforms like Twitch or YouTube or Twitter, like obviously you can't moderate every single bit of content, but you have scripts, you have algorithms for this. Like,
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Do better.
Well, I know that YouTube is pretty good about not having any.
YouTube, yes, no.
I mean, there's some questionable stuff, but like, I've never seen any like full on like nudity.
No, yeah.
Not that I'm searching for it, so like maybe if you like knew how to search for it, but like, yeah, I've never seen any on YouTube.
You would hope that that's.
I've also never seen it on Twitch either, but I don't follow anything that would be like that. So
yeah, no, me neither.
I follow like the Smite channels and like CS:GO streamers. CS2 streamers.
CS:GO is dead to us.
It's dead. No.
CS2 is also dead to us.
CS2 is also dead. This is true. Well, it is a Christmas time.
Christmas season.
It's Christmas in Arizona, so we have to break out the flannels.
That's right, yeah.
It got cold enough to wear a long sleeve shirt.
You wear long sleeves for 2 months out of the year, probably.
Maybe 3, depending on how cold February is.
Mm-hmm. It's construction season, so
it is,
and you can see it all over the roads.
You definitely can, 100%.
So annoying.
It's very annoying. The summer driving in Arizona in the summer is fantastic.
It's nice
because there's no construction.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no old people.
There's less tourism, yeah.
There's no old people. They all move out to freaking Minnesota.
It's only natives because it's 110 degrees outside.
Exactly. And so and we're all native Arizonans, so we know how to drive on the freaking freeways over 45 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Because during the summer, from freaking April or May until September,
October, sometimes,
the speed limit of the freeway goes from 55 when it's actually 65 to more effectively like 75.
75, 80, I
yeah.
would say, yeah. I had a weird one today. I was behind a car, random short story. Their brake lights were constantly on.
That's weird.
I'm like, that's not good. It was very weird. I could not tell when they were accelerating or slowing down, and I was like, this is unsafe to drive behind this snowbird because they're just have their foot on the brake and the accelerator.
I wonder if they were just like touching the brake and like.
No, but even like we stopped at a red light, brake lights are on, light turns green, they start moving, their brake lights are still on, and it was tripping.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I wonder if their like foot is like just resting on the brake pedal, like their left foot is just like resting on the brake pedal, and they're just like gassing it enough to like overcome the small amount of friction. I don't know.
Yeah, just
that is very dangerous though.
Their brakes and dangerous for everyone behind them.
Yeah, that is very dangerous.
Yeah, snowbirds. So Christmas in Arizona.
It's construction season. Which is the worst. But it is also really nice outside right now.
Can't complain too much.
The weather is fantastic. A little bit chilly at night, which is nice because you get to throw on the hoodies and the flannels and whatever.
At nighttime, you wear the pajama pants.
Got my sweats on,
Very comfy.
Very comfy clothing. And then, sleep with the window open and you get all cozied up in your blanket and it's, it's 50 in the best. Yeah.
I tried turning on the heat the other night. My wife was like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
Put on more clothes, blankets. Like this is the best time of year. You gotta enjoy it.
You just get snuggly and warm.
Well, yeah.
Anyway, Christmas time in Arizona is the best. Yeah. Never had a white Christmas, but who cares?
Nope. When
you can go outside in a t-shirt on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
And play around in the grass.
Take a walk, play some football, do whatever.
Exactly. I kind of wanted to ask about I think we kind of discussed it last time of international Christmas traditions.
Yeah.
But I wanted to know, did you have any Christmas traditions?
Domestic, some family, good old-fashioned Christmas traditions.
Yeah.
There is actually a pretty fun one I can talk about that I think is pretty unique.
There are ones that you can't talk about?
No, I don't think so. We would go hunt our own Christmas turkey.
Fair
Actually,
enough.
that'd be kind of cool.
That'd be very
I think I
fun.
probably could talk about that. But no. So it's I think it's unique. At least it's pretty unique to my wife and all my in-laws and whatnot. Never heard of it. Because my grandma started it, so it kind of harkens back to a simpler time.
Sure.
My dad kind of grew up poor. There were 10 kids in his family, so
Oof.
from 2 different dads, and so for
Your poor grandma.
yeah, she's a trooper. And so the Christmas tradition that got started sometime around there is during December, during the Christmas season. I think we call it now the crazy dinner. It used to be called the dollar dinner. Is that all the kids, you'd get $1 and you had to go to the supermarket or whatever, and you'd buy like one thing, one dish or whatever for dinner, and you'd try to get as close to $1 without going over, right? And everybody would come back together, and you'd have to like guess each other's food or whatever, like, oh, their descriptors and how close they got to $1, and whoever got the closest without going over, you win. Boom. And then you make a Mod Podge meal out of all the things that everybody brought.
Interesting.
So it's like we've since upped the dollar amount.
Yeah, because $1 now doesn't even get you a Snickers.
It gets you nothing. Yeah. And so my grandma's metric back then was a bag of chips. A bag of chips used to be $1. So now it's the $4 dinner.
Jeez Louise, I can't believe that.
But it is a fun Christmas tradition. It harkens back to kind of simpler times with my family. I enjoy that aspect of it. And you get some really fun dinners where it's like, we sometimes were less strict on the rules, but traditionally you got to be harsh of like, nobody brought drinks. That's it. No water for you. Nothing. No soda. Somebody brought hot dogs, but there's no buns. Guess you're eating hot dogs, and you better not put mustard on that because nobody brought mustard. Like, it's goofy. Like I said, sometimes we're less strict on that. Like, no, whatever. We had soda out in the garage. Just drink soda, whatever. Here's some ketchup, mustard. But you try to combine dishes and be like, oh yeah, like it's better now that we've got as we started getting like spouses, my siblings and I. It's like, okay, so yeah, I brought salsa, and then the spouse would be like, yeah, and I brought tortilla chips. Oh wow, what a surprise! They combine chips and salsa. So it's cool. It's always a blast every year. The crazy dinner, we call it the Morgan family crazy dinner.
That's very fun.
And it's spread out from like my dad's siblings, so it's like there's an iteration of the crazy dinner all in all the states where all my aunts and uncles and whatnot are at.
Very cool.
Every Christmas year.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's a pretty cool tradition.
Yeah, I'm doing that next Monday. I'm pretty excited.
Very cool. My family has some. We have my mother's birthday is the 24th.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And so we always have a dinner that night. That's my mother's birthday.
Yeah.
Another thing we do, and so that's like just like not really a Christmas tradition. That's just like celebrating my mom's birthday.
But it happens every year.
But it happens every year on Christmas.
That's a
like,
tradition.
Yeah. And then we also every Christmas we will watch as family. We'll watch the movie White Christmas.
Oh, okay.
And if you haven't seen it,
with Bing Crosby, right?
Yep, it's an old movie.
Yeah.
And good wholesome story.
It is.
You know, talking about hope and your dreams and love and getting further in life and all that stuff. And
it's pretty motivational, pretty wholesome.
Yeah, it's quite a good movie. So that's our kind of family tradition. There's one other thing that I was thinking of right before, like I was trying to think of like, oh, what do we do? Now I can't remember it.
Oh, dang.
Oh, before we open presents on Christmas, we read the Christmas story.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
Yeah, so we'll read
from Luke 2.
Luke 2.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, we usually do, I think, Christmas Eve night. We do that. Yeah.
Oh, and some years, depending on the year and who's in town and everything, my grandma will have all of the cousins over and we'll do this thing. She'll get enough, cheap $1 gifts. We'll each get one. Everyone in the family, so parents and everyone included. And then she'll read The Night Before Christmas. And then on certain keywords, you
Heard
pass
this.
the gift right or left, depending on what the keyword is, right?
Yeah.
And I don't remember what the keyword is. They explain it every year, and I forget after like 3 seconds. But you're sitting there passing, and then like
Passing the treats, and whichever one you end up with at the end
is
of
the
the
one
story.
you open it up, and then
Oh, okay, yeah.
so we do that. So just a bunch of family time and stuff like that.
That's sweet.
We'll have soup that night before. My
Ooh.
grandma will make. Everyone will make like a different soup.
Okay.
We're
And that one's
stew.
not always Christmas Eve. It's just
It's around the Christmas
around
time.
to
Yeah.
do a nice little
Yeah.
soup night.
So I don't know if we're gonna do it this year.
People
I haven't heard about it, but
We do. You just reminded me. Yeah, on Christmas Eve night, we'll read Luke 2, and then we'll actually sing like favorite Christmas songs. Dad would kind of pick us to. It wasn't around the whole time I was growing up, but probably since I was 12 or something.
sure.
He'd pick each member of the family. Hey, what's your favorite Christmas song? And we'll sing it all together. Usually after reading Luke 2. So that was cool.
That is very cool.
Pick your nice favorite song.
We never really did any of that type of thing, but
The
singing
one
thing.
my wife does, I can share similar to that. If you don't like singing, her uncle started this, or he made these, or whatever. We'll play bells, hand chimes.
Very cool.
That he cut like from metal, and so they're different lengths, produce different notes. And he's got the music. Usually somebody in her family like kind of leads the music. You conduct, and it's your bell, your chime has a number on it, and so you're just following along. You're like, oh, number 12, ding, and you're playing just Christmas songs with the dings. Everybody all around with a different metal chime.
That's pretty cool.
It's kind of fun, actually. Yeah,
Hmm.
it's a cool tradition.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see that.
Yeah, maybe I'll have my wife or I record a little bit this time.
Yeah.
We're actually not meeting with her family till like New Year's Day. So it was when everyone could get together, but
Yeah, fair enough.
we'll still play Christmas music. It's fine.
Christmas season.
Yeah.
Christmas season. Speaking of Christmas season, I feel like as God is one of the 5 G's,
Yeah.
figured I could read a poem real quick.
Cool.
I
Written by yours truly.
wish. Yeah, I kind of backstory on. I go visit these 2 elderly families regularly from church, and I've kind of been tasked, I guess is like the best way to put it, to visit these families regularly and keep up on them, be brotherly and all that good stuff.
Mhm.
And
It's a good time to spread some Christmas cheer.
exactly. And I went and visited them, and I was thinking about like sharing a Christmas message with them and stuff like that. And I was just kind of like, I don't want to be like, I don't want to just like read scripture for like, I don't want to just read Luke 2 to them and be like, Christmas, and so I was trying to think of like what I could do, and I decided to try and find a good poem that I was like, that was Christmassy, and this one's nice and short, and I figured since God is part of this podcast, and ostensibly we're both Christians, and most likely everyone else who listens to this, if they listen to the entirety of it, is also godly in some sort, whether they're Christian, Muslim, or Jewish, or Hindu, or whatever you are.
Whatever, yeah.
You believe in some sort of higher power. But anyway, I figured I would read it and see what you give my thoughts about Christmas and
Cool.
your thoughts. So it says, what star is this beam so bright, more lovely than the noonday light? 'Tis sent to announce a newborn king, glad tidings of our God to bring. 'Tis now fulfilled what God decreed, from Jacob shall a star proceed, and lo, the eastern sages stand to read in heaven the Lord's command. O Jesus, while the star of grace impels us to seek thy face, let not our slothful hearts refuse the guidance of thy light to use. O God the Father, heavenly light, to Christ revealed in earthly night, to God the Holy Spirit rise, an endless song of thankful praise.
Who wrote that?
That is a great question.
Oh, okay. I'm just kind of curious if it's like the era, old poem, new poem.
I think it's relatively new.
Relatively new.
Yeah.
That was really nice. I like that.
Yeah. I figured, it's kind of like every year my family talks about this in kind of like the old curmudgeon-y, like, oh, I can't believe, you know, getting all boomery about it and about how Christmas is a commercialized thing now, you know, just like Thanksgiving is with Black Friday. It's not really Thanksgiving anymore. It's the day before Black Friday deals,
Yes,
right?
Yeah.
And same with, you know, Easter, not as much because not as many people celebrate that. But Christmas is like the big one where it's like, oh yeah, got to get all the gifts and, you know, all this
buy
stuff.
presents. And,
Exactly.
Yep.
And I think we always forget about the reason behind Christmas, and that's Jesus and his birth.
Yeah.
And how we should be thankful for that and all that good stuff.
I approve. That's all. Yeah, that's really important to remember. I thought you were going to be cheesy and say the reason for the season.
Ugh.
No, you said the reason behind Christmas, and I was like, all right, that's good.
I actually have a wristband. I don't have it with me right now because it's in storage.
Mm-hmm.
But I usually put it on around Thanksgiving time. It says "Keep Christ in Christmas."
Yeah,
that's my
cool.
corniness for the.
But it's good.
Yeah,
it's good because it's like, even though, as you said, we're Christians, obviously, and we enjoy the Christmas season and how commercial it is. Who doesn't like presents and the music and the movies and the Christmas lights? It's all great, but also, yeah, it is. The reason for the season is Jesus, is Christ. So.
And you know what? I don't even care that he actually wasn't born in December.
No, that's irrelevant to me. I don't. This is the time decreed for us to celebrate it, and by golly, I'm gonna celebrate it. So.
Yeah, for real. It's like, seriously, we're gonna.
Yeah. You can pick any day, I guess. I mean,
yeah.
Realistically, yeah, every day you should probably be celebrating Christ, but you know that's not super practical.
No,
we're human. So.
Although I wouldn't mind if people got me presents every day.
Yeah, all right.
Speaking of the commercialized aspects of it,
yes.
I wanted to run some food by you.
Oh yeah,
and get your thoughts about them.
We're hitting all the G's today.
I think, you know, we got to get the smattering in there.
Christmas gastronomy.
We just don't have guns or goals right now.
No, yeah.
We're not really good with the goals one very much.
Yeah.
Probably talk about that one more.
New Year's is coming up.
That's true. That's a good one.
Time to talk about goals.
Good call.
Tune in next week for the goals episode. I don't know.
Maybe next week we'll just read Luke 2.
yeah, actually that
wouldn't be bad.
Yeah.
Because that'll come out the 2 days before Christmas.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Blah, 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 blah.
Food.
Gastronomy, yes.
Christmas gastronomy. Yes, indubitably. Why is indubitably like the word that everyone says?
The fancy word.
Yeah. And this probably should have been okay, well, we'll start off. Are you Christmas turkey or Christmas ham?
Ooh,
because everyone agrees that it's Thanksgiving
turkey
and Easter ham.
Yes. Christmas is the crossover, though. Ooh, yeah. That is a good debate. I think. Oh, man, I'm trying to remember. My family growing up, you know, because I'm not making my own Christmas ham or turkey. I think we alternated depending on the year, but I believe our preference was to go turkey. I believe it was Christmas turkey. At some point, I'm pretty sure, as like me and my siblings got older, I think one of my sisters complained that she didn't like turkey, so we also ended up having a small ham on the side in addition to that every year. But I do remember some years we had just a big ham. But I think ever since it's been like turkey with a little bit of ham. But turkey's the main focus. Yeah.
That's okay.
Okay. And you? I'm assuming you're nodding.
My family is a mix.
Oh, okay.
As well. Most of the time what happens is because my family, my mother's side always usually gets together for Christmas dinner as well. There's usually a turkey and a ham.
Turkey and a ham. Okay.
I'm trying to convince my mom this year to do a goose.
Oh.
Because English people always talk about the Christmas goose.
Yeah, that's right.
And like, I've never had a Christmas goose.
Christmas goose.
I've never had goose at all.
That sounds kind of dumb, but it's fun. I like it.
But like, that's like the thing, right?
Christmas goose.
Isn't that was like the thing that people would have for Christmas
Yeah, and
before turkeys were invented in America?
in America. God bless America.
The turkey was originally going to be our national bird instead of the bald eagle.
That's right.
Because the turkey, even though it's like silly now to think about, is actually a much more noble creature. Because bald eagles are just big trash pigeons.
They are. They're pretty rude.
Like if you go to like places where there's a lot of bald eagles, they're like the same as like crows at the dump.
Yeah. And they just like pick on all the other animals.
Yeah, they're just kind of turds.
They plate with their food before they kill it.
Well, to be fair, that's kind of like it's a good symbolism for America for
But it was decided that turkeys were tasty, and so
yeah,
I think that's the official. Like,
probably.
Yeah, they had they had to taste test both, as they were just
some hunters there with George Washington and Ben Franklin. They're like, "There's a bald eagle, bam! There's a turkey, bam! All right, cook them up, boys.
Come up, let's see.
Turkey's better. Well, I guess we're going with the bald eagle.
Bald eagle's a state animal or national animal by default.
But yeah, I'm trying to convince my mom to do a Christmas goose.
Christmas goose. I'm pretty sure that's from like a Christmas Carol or whatever. That is like an old British tradition.
Yeah,
right.
I'm trying to do that. One year for Thanksgiving, we did Ryan and I, we did a Friendsgiving.
Oh yeah.
The Monday before or whatever, and we had a bunch of people over, and I smoked a duck.
Ooh, nice.
As well as Ryan did a turkey.
I had duck once or twice, and I wasn't a huge.
I'm not a big fan of duck.
Yeah.
But I've never I'm the only one that I've ever had. I've only prepared my duck. So like, if someone did it for me, that was like a masterful duck preparer.
I had Asian duck one time from P.F. Chang's or something. It was all right.
I mean, I'm sure that there's like some duck that's fantastic, right?
Same thing as I mentioned last week. It's like lamb is an Argentine Christmas tradition. That's the only time I've had lamb. I wasn't that impressed.
Lamb is like one of my go-to meat. It's so good.
Maybe you got a petition for Christmas, some of your Christmas lamb.
Ooh, a whole Christmas lamb rotisserie.
The whole lamb, you get a couple racks of ribs.
That would be good.
The legs and everything.
Maybe I'll have to do that.
All right, the goose on one side, the lamb on the other. Nah, that's probably a bit much for 1 year, but
probably, unless we forego the turkey.
Yeah.
But then if they suck, it's like, well, that sucks.
Yeah, you want to have something to fall back on. So
exactly.
Christmas turkey.
Anyway, I was going to get your opinion on this one probably should have been a Thanksgiving one, but cranberry sauce.
Ooh, yeah, okay. As far as just its existence doesn't offend me.
Does the existence of cranberry sauce as a staple dish of Thanksgiving / Christmas offend?
Yeah, that's one that I must tread lightly. No.
Don't even tread lightly.
No. If my sister-in-law were ever to watch this podcast, my sister-in-law makes a pretty good cranberry sauce. I don't have high standards for cranberry sauce, but it is the best one I've ever had. I'll admit. She brings it to Thanksgiving every year, and my mom is the only one who eats it. I did have a little bit this year actually, because I think my mom was looking for someone to give it home, to someone to take it home. So I did end up trying a little bit. It wasn't bad, you know. Does it need to be a Thanksgiving staple? If that protects it from the other 364 days of the year, then yes, I'm okay with that. Yeah, that's my take. Christmas, nah, it's got no business being around for Christmas.
I am in a very similar boat. Every year, I see the cranberry sauce, and I go, I'll give it a try. And every single year, without fail, I go, not worth the try.
No.
It does not go with turkey or potatoes or ham.
Bread.
It doesn't go with anything.
No.
It's not like a jam where you can put it on bread. It's too tart or whatever for that. Doesn't go,
Especially just the one from the can. No, it's not good. It's not worth it.
No. I don't.
The one random one that I think I told you I thoroughly enjoyed this year was the vegetable tray. I actually devoured the veggie tray at Thanksgiving this year, and I'm looking forward to it again at Christmas.
My family always has a great veggie tray, and my grandmother makes this dip that has a bunch of dill in it.
Oh, I love that.
And so it's like this very like yogurty dill, almost like a tahini, like a Greek tahini. Tzatziki sauce, almost right.
Yeah.
It's a little bit thicker than that. It's like an actual dip, right? And it's like yogurt and cream cheese, and so with the dill and the other spices and
that'd be good.
stuff.
Good.
That with carrots or black olives.
I can get some celery into that, I bet.
You're
not a celery fan,
not
but
a
like
fan.
celery dipped in stuff. It's a pretty good delivery device, I think.
Yes.
It's got the little.
I prefer carrots or broccoli for that, though.
Oh, yeah, broccoli kind of gets on the little florets.
Yeah.
I think carrots has probably got to be one of the worst delivery devices for stuff, I'm just saying.
I love carrots.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean,
I love carrots. I eat carrots as a snack.
But objectively, a delivery device.
Not a great one.
Okay, all right, good. That's
No.
valid.
But when you love carrots and you love the dip, combining them is just like, this is fantastic.
It's great, yeah.
Yeah. I would do that instead of dessert sometimes.
Yeah.
It's so good. I love it. One thing, we'll end on this note, that I think is the greatest thing at Christmas time meals and big family gathering meals in general. The different cheese balls that get made and brought.
Cheese balls.
I don't know why, but I always find myself just absolutely devouring them.
My in-laws, they're connoisseurs of the cheese ball. And
Isn't that such a weird way to like say that? Like you can't just say like cheese dip. It's gotta be the cheese ball.
Cheese ball. I don't know why.
Or the cheese balls. The balls of cheese.
Yes, multiple balls of cheese. And they'll even do it just on like a random Sunday dinner. So it's like the holiday cheese balls are like even better, but even just the random like, yeah, this is our like jalapeno cheese ball.
I gotta say, I make a mean caramelized onion cheese ball.
Okay.
Are you a fan of onions?
Yeah.
You a fan of cheese?
Yeah, I think I'm a connoisseur of balls of cheese.
Of cheesy balls?
You just get a connoisseur of balls of cheese.
I'm gonna put a big old pause right there.
Yes.
I'm a connoisseur of balls. Cheese balls.
Cheese balls. Clarify. Don't take that out of context.
Yeah, I made it one year, and I've refined the recipe, I think, to make it it's got like a leek in there and some shallot and like a lot of onion.
I did not know this about you.
Goat cheese. I'm quite the cook.
You're quite the gastronomer.
I am quite the gastronomer.
It's like we planned that. Like this is our expertise, the 5 Gs.
I'm thinking of making a cheesecake this year.
Oh, nice.
And some people will like just do pure cream cheese.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking this year
experiment
of taking 20% of the cream cheese weight out and putting plain goat cheese in it.
I bet that would be good.
And mixing it up and making it in and just
so it still has the same consistency
because they're very similar consistency. So I don't think it would mess it up. And only like 20% of the weight, right?
So it fine.
But that flavor,
like a purer taste.
That flavor in there though, because I love goat cheese.
Yeah,
I don't know about you, but I love goat cheese.
You might have to save me a slice if you end up making that.
I'm thinking about doing that, and I might bring it to Boys' Night Saturday pre-Christmas if we're doing that.
Maybe. Yeah.
I don't see why we wouldn't.
Why not?
I also see why we would not.
Yeah.
Anyway,
that sounds pretty good. That's been one of the hardest things on this diet. It's like I don't bake as much food. I don't experiment as much in the kitchen because it's like the only things I prep are like chicken, lean meats.
You should get a smoker.
Probably the air fryer has been a godsend.
Oh, that's true.
Like
that's true.
Our go-to meal lately has just been like a chicken breast from Costco or whatever. You just douse it in ranch seasoning. It's so good. And the air fryer just fries it up nice and moist. Ranch seasoning makes it taste good all the way through. It's solid, man. I tell you what.
That actually sounds really yummy. That with some salad or something?
Yeah. Alina will do a little Caesar salad. I just throw on like my 0-calorie Italian dressing. It's solid. You put the chicken in the salad. Perfect. I don't know what it is about the air fryer chicken ranch. It's 3 ingredients, but it's really good.
No salt on it either.
I don't even need to. Salt, yeah. Like the ranch seasoning has some salt in it. I threw in some garlic salt this last time. I think it was a little extra. I didn't need it.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's just good. Maybe I'll just do garlic powder next time. I don't need the extra salt. But
I'm a fan of garlic.
Yeah, really every dish needs garlic powder and onion powder.
Also, if you ever read a recipe online and it says you only need this amount of garlic, take that, multiply it by 5, and then add another one.
Until you go, yeah, that's good.
until you can smell the garlic emanating from the dish, that's enough.
That's what my dad always says anytime like we ask him, oh hey, this is really good. How'd you make this? So what's your secret? And garlic. It's every dish, even if it's like a sweet dish, he's like garlic.
Yeah,
it's just turned into his answer now. His dad joke. It's garlic.
Garlic and onions.
The secret ingredient is garlic.
Yeah, it really is.
Pro tip for all your cooking adventures.
Yeah. And with that, we're gonna end it off.
What?
Leave a comment. Here, ready? I'm becoming a YouTuber.
Nice.
Leave a comment with your favorite Christmas/holiday food.
Yeah.
And if we get any comments,
we'll give you a shout out.
We'll give you a shout out, and we'll tell you how correct or wrong you are.
Also that, yeah.
Because we're opinionated.
Welcome to the show.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching this week's episode of the 5G Podcast. We hope you enjoyed. As always, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this content. We're available on all social medias, as well as you can watch or listen to us on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. Again, thanks for watching, and we hope to see you next week. Thanks.